Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite girl Favor here. If today is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel, thank you so much for stopping by. On this YouTube channel, we learn how to turn void materials into a beautiful piece. So guys, on today's tutorial, we are going to be learning the second part of how to make this milkmaid dress that I'm putting on right here. As you can see, the dress can be rocked in different ways. You can either rock it as an off shoulder or you can rock it as a shouldered dress. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, without wasting much of your time, let's head to the tutorial proper. So guys, on our previous tutorial, we learned the pattern drafting of these pieces you're seeing right here. Okay, so and I'm going to be leaving the link to that video on the description box below. Please do well to check it out so that you understand how we arrive at this. Now, while cutting on my main fabric, I added extra 2 inches on the waistline, as you can see right here. Now this is for the waist, and at this lower part of the front pattern, like I said, I'm going to be leaving the link so that you understand why our front have a lower pattern like this. All right, and then I also went ahead to add the extra allowances that is supposed to have. Okay, now at the other side, I added extra 1.5 inch allowance to it as well. All right, so this is for the lower front. I'll keep this aside, and now this is going to be for our bust area, which is going to be serving as our cup. As you can see what it looks like. Okay, and in cutting it, you can see that I also added extra allowances to it as well, and I have this to be in 2, so I'll keep this aside. Now this is the back pattern, as you can see. Now from our previous tutorial, you know that we did not add any joining for the back pattern, so this is the end result of what it looks like. Okay, so if you're here to see that tutorial, please do well to watch it. All right, so first of all, work on our cup area. That is going to be for the bustier area. Now the bustier area, you can see that I added extra inches to it because I really wanted my cup to be full. That is the bustier area to be full. So we're going to go ahead now and separate the pattern papers. Now after separating the pattern papers, the next thing we are going to do is to go ahead and fold the edges. Now for this pattern, you could see that there is no lining for it. All right, we're not going to be using an interfacing for this because my fabric is really thick and is quite stretchy, so we're not going to be making use of any interfacing. Now this is the center of our bustier. This place here is going to be at the center front. All right, now because we're not going to be attaching any lining, we are going to be hemming this other center. This center front here, we'll hem it by 1/2 inch inward here, like this, just the way I am folding it, just the way you fold you hem rough edges. Now I'm going to first of all pin it down here. Now this is the first place you are going to be hemming. You hem it to the full length, and then you come to the upper part, which is going to be where our off shoulder will start from. All right, now you will now come here and fold it downward by 1 inch. Now that 1 inch you're folding it, when you fold it down here, when you fold it at this point like this, then you now fold it in again. Now when folding it in, you want to make sure you're going to fold it in a way that elastic band can be able to pass through. All right, so I'll go ahead and fold it and then I'll bring it back. So guys, this is what it looks like, and after folding it, so this is our center front. Okay, you can see how it looks like, and then this is the upper part where we are going to be passing our ruche, and then this is where I was trying to explain that you want to make sure you pass where elastic can be able to pass through. And at this down part here, I ran a gather stitch on it that we used to be doing our gathers. Now a gather stitch is simply a very loose stitch that you can easily pull up out. Okay, and I ran 2 stitch on it. Now the essence of that 2 stitch is to be on a safer side, in case if one cuts, I'll be able to still work with the second one. Now I will pull out a thread, the 2 thread at this point, and then you want to gradually pull it out this way, just the way I am pulling it out like this. So that is how you achieve your gather stitch. Now after pulling it out, I am going to be bringing a pattern. Now this is a pattern that I call cut out on our bustier before doing the slash and thread method, this is going to be a guide. Now the bustier we are going to be getting is going to be 9.5 as we measured on that paper. Now I will go ahead and check. Now I have this to be 10 inches, which is more. I will still adjust it a little to give me 9.5. Okay, so after adjusting it, I checked and that is it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is what you're supposed to be getting. Now this is where our cup is going to be looking like, or our bustier is meant to look like. Okay, so after pulling it, now the next thing we're going to do is to go ahead and arrange it properly. So at the end, to know that you really pulled a gather stitch, your thread is meant to come out that long after pulling your gather stitch. All right, you want to pay attention to that as well. Now this is what it's meant to look like. Okay, so I've gone ahead to do for the other parts. So this is for the second bustier and this is the two. So this is what they both looks like. Now this is the center and then this is the armhole. So this is what our bustier is going to look like. All right, so the next thing we are going to do right now is to pick our waistline. This is the waistband that we cut. At this upper part here, I added half an inch, and then at the down part, I added 2 inches. At this point here, I added 1.7 inches, and at this upper part, I added half inch. So we're going to separate it now. Now, after separating it, we'll open it up like this. But before that, we're going to give it a notch at the center here to know the center of the waistline. And I will do the same thing down here. All right, so I will open this up like this. Now after opening it up, I will go ahead and pick one of our bustier. This is our cup here. From this our center front here, can you see this is the center front? When placing it, I will cross it over to that notch at the middle. Remember, we notched the center. Now we're not going to be placing it exactly at that place that we notched. We're going to be shifting it to the other side, and then we pin it down to the end. So these places we're pinning simply means where we are going to be stitching. So this is what we are meant to have after running a stitch on our cup. Okay, now I will also pick up the second one so that we'll understand better. Now the front sides facing each other and the center is going to be at the center. Now what we're going to do, we'll use this other one and place it on top of that first one. Can you see? Okay, so when we place it on top, I will go ahead and run a stitch all around. When I run a stitch on it, I will bring it back for us to see. Please do not forget that you're meant to place it on top of each other before stitching. So guys, I've gone ahead now to stitch it, and this is what it looks like. So this is what I was trying to explain to us. Can you see? They are both on top of each other. Now the essence of this is to avoid our bust exposing, to avoid exposing our bust. That is what the essence of that means. Okay, so this is what it looks like at the front. So this is the result you are also meant to be having at your own end after joining it exactly the way I explained. Now we're going to be attaching the skirt pattern to the waist. So this is our lower front pattern. I'm going to go ahead and separate the pattern paper like so. Now after separating the pattern paper, this is the skirt part. Okay, so we're going to open it up like this. Now after opening it up, we place it down and then pick the upper part, which is where our waistline is and where the bustier is, and place it on top of each other, right side facing each other, the front side facing each other like this. Can you see? Now if your fabric is stretchy, and I will advise you to go ahead and just pin it the way I'm pinning mine. All right, this is to avoid our fabric moving away. So after pinning it, we are going to go ahead and close it up by half an inch. But before that, this is what we're meant to have. Okay, so when you close it up by half an inch, do not forget your result is meant to be giving you something like this. So I will go ahead now and take this to our sewing machine, attach it and bring it back. So guys, I've gone ahead to attach our waistline to the skirt pattern, and this is what it looks like. Can you see? So please do not forget to iron your seams open. All right, and then this is what the front pattern looks like. Can you see how it is? Now the only thing you are going to be doing here is either to use your your bias to hold this place down or you weave it. Okay, all right, so this is what it looks like. Now we're going to bring our back pattern. Now this our back pattern is going to be having zipper allowance to it. So this is what we're going to do first. We're going to come to this our neck area, that is the shoulder, the neck area of the back pattern. Hem it first by 1/2 inch. You see where my hand is, you hem it first by 1/2 inch. Then after hemming it, you use 1 inch to close it up to this point here, all right, where our open slit is going to start from. Then at this other end, you will just fold it in by 1/2 inch. Let me explain this again. After closing up your back pattern with 1 inch, which is the zipper allowance, you will hem it down. Please do not forget to hem it down. Okay, with that being said, I'll keep that aside. So I have gone ahead to cut out the stripes, that is the rope that we're going to be attaching on our bust area. That is the what we're going to be using for the adjustment of our cup, and I have this to be 1.5 inch. Now to achieve how to fold this is really easy. At this point, you fold it inwards here. When you fold it inward, at this other end, you fold it inward, and then you place the two together on top like this and run a stitch on top of it, and then extend it to the full length at this point. So I will go ahead and attach this, and then I will bring it back. So guys, I've gone ahead now to close this up. So this is the 1/2 inch I was explaining for us to close it up first before closing up here for the zipper allowance. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So the only thing left is for us to attach the zip, and then this is the down part. You can see the way I hemmed it down. Okay, because there's no interfacing. That is the essence of all the hemming that we've been trying to do, for us to have a clean stitch. All right, so this is what it looks like. Now you want to also iron and open up your zipper allowance, so that by the time you are attaching your zip, is not going to be an issue. Okay, now this is the stripes, and this is what the ropes looks like. Can you see? All right, so what we're going to do right now is to go ahead and pass it on our bust area. So I'll use my septum pin and pass it through at the center of the rope. Now after passing it on the center, I'll pick one of the bustier. Now you want to pay attention that you be passing this rope from your armhole area first. All right, so I will pass it all through. Can you see the way I'm passing it through? Just the same way you pass your elastic band is the same way we are passing this. So at this edge, I will pin it down, and we're meant to run a stitch. We're meant to kind of stitch it down, do not forget. But because I am going to be running a stitch on it later, I will just pin it down to avoid it moving out. So after pinning it down, this is what it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and pull it in to this point. So this is what you're meant to be having. All right, so this is what it looks like. So this is our bust area, this is our cup, and also this is our bustier area. Can you see what it looks like? And then at this end here, I just love to just tie the mouth of any rope I have. I don't know why, but this has been working for me. I'll just tie the mouth to avoid it from fraying away. So guys, I've done now the same thing I did for the other side, for the both side, and when you tie it, this is the end result we are meant to be having. Okay, so can you see what this looks like? And it's really turning out well. So guys, if you've watched this tutorial to this point, please do not forget to click on the subscribe button if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please do not forget to turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified on any other tutorials that I'll be posting. So the next thing we are going to be doing right now is to go ahead and pick up our front pattern and back pattern like this. So this is the zipper allowance that I attached. So this is what it looks like. All right, so after doing that, I ironed it out as well. So we're going to go ahead now and place the front pattern and the back pattern together, right side facing each other. Now we're going to close it up. So I'm going to explain to us how to close it up. Now, from this your round bust measurement, you want to maintain your round bust measurement, and then when you get to your hip area, please pay attention to the explanation. All right, you want to maintain your round bust measurement, your waist measurement. All right, and then when you get to your hip area, remember we did a contouring on this particular gown. We did a hip contouring. Now if your hip is 40 inches, please take away 1 inch from 40 inches and you'll be left with 39 inches. The essence of this is that the 2 inch that we did for the butt contouring already added another allowance to your hip. I hope we understand. So I'll go and do this and bring it back. So guys, I've gone ahead now to close up our gown using my body measurements. You can see my fabric is stretchy. So if your fabric is this stretchy, the way mine is stretchy, please do not forget to add excess allowance, because mine really had excess allowance and I didn't like it. Okay, and this is what the bust area looks like, and this is the armhole curve, and this is what it looks like. So I will go ahead now and turn this in. This is what the back looks like as well. So I'll just open it up now, and then for us to see what the inside looks like as well. So this is what our inside looks like. So this is what it looks like. You can see I had a lot of allowances on it and I didn't like it. So if your fabric is stretchy, please, you can do 1 inch allowance as your allowances. And then this is the hip area. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do right now is to work on the sleeve. So I'll keep the dress aside. Now this is the sleeve we're going to be working with, and then the wideness of the sleeve, I have it to be 17 inches. I have this to be 17 inches. I will still trim out some excesses out of it. Now we'll fold it together like this, but first of all I'm going to be dividing it out because we are going to be cutting the 2 sleeves at the same time. So I will fold it like this. Remember, this is the 2 sleeves joined together. When I fold it, I will drop it, and then we will go ahead and use our dress. Now the armhole area, we'll join it together like this and place it on top of our sleeve fabric like this, and then just use this other side to trace out the armhole curve. This is the easiest way for you to get your off shoulder puff sleeve. So I will go ahead and just trim out all the excesses on the sleeve. All right, so I'll keep it aside. So this is the excesses I had on the sleeve. So I will open it up. So this is what it looks like. Now we have our armhole curve on the sleeve. Now at this point here, I have reduced it and I ended up having 16.5 inches as the wideness of the sleeve. So you can do the length of your sleeve, you can do as much as you want, but remember, the longer your sleeve, the fuller it's going to be. Now at this point here, we're going to be folding it in by 1 inch on both sides, both on the upside and the downside. Now this is to enable us to be able to pass our elastic band. Now on this other side, we are going to also be folding it in by 1 inch like this. Okay, so I will go ahead and fold this and then I'll bring it back. So guys, I've gone ahead now to fold the 2 sides together, and this is what it looks like. All right, so this is for the first one, and then this is the second one. So I went ahead to trim out the excesses we have. Now we're still going to retrim this sleeve, because by the time you have folded the edges where the elastic is going to pass on the shoulder area, you have automatically reduced the length of your sleeve. That is the armhole circumference of your sleeve. So we'll still bring back our dress, place it on that same way, the way we placed it before. Okay, remember the 2 sleeves are placed together. I will place it on top of it like this. All right, so when I place it like this, I will now reshape the sleeve area, that is the armhole area, for us to get an accurate armhole curve. So this is what I'm just doing here. So after cutting it out, I will just go ahead and keep the dress aside, and then we'll work on the elastic. Now for you to get your elastic, wherever your sleeve is going to stop, take the round circumference, and that is how you get your sleeve. Now mine is 10. Mine is 10. So out of that 10 inches, I'm going to be dividing it into 2. When I divide it into 2, I will get it. So after getting the sleeve, I went ahead to pass the elastic on the side. Now we're going to close up the sleeve. All right, So I've gone ahead to close up my sleeve. All right, so and then I'll just quickly explain. Now I close it up by 1 inch, and then where our sleeve started from, where our armhole curve started from, you can see it here. I did not close it up. Can you see what it looks like? So this is the first one, and then I did the same thing for the second one. Now we're going to go ahead and pick up our gown, our dress like this, and then place the two armhole together like this, right sides facing each other. Can you see? Right sides facing each other, and then we will run a stitch starting from this point here where my hand is. Run a stitch all the way to this point here, to this point, and then also run a stitch to this other end. Okay, so I will go ahead now and attach our sleeve, and then I will bring it back for us to see what it looks like. So guys, I've gone ahead now to attach our sleeve on our gown, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so this is the inside. So this is what the inside looks like. Can you see? All right, this is what it looks like, and then this is what the front side looks like. Can you see what it looks like? So I will go ahead now and then just close it up like this. So this is what the front side looks like. So this is the area where our bust is going to be sitting. Now when you tie it, it's not going to be exposing your bust because of that way, the way we stitched it. And then at this other end, at this end of the fabric, I went ahead to close the rough edges. Okay, this is what the back side looks like. All right, and then at this point, the full length, I went ahead to hem the mouth of the dress just like this. Can you see? Just use 1/2 inch to hem the base of the gown, that is the lower side of it, and this is what it looks like. So guys, thank you so much for watching. That is all for the sewing part of this tutorial. Please do not forget to click on the subscribe button. Please do not forget to like and share. Please do not forget to leave a comment, and please do not forget to go green. See you guys on our next tutorial. Bye for now.